Jason. Thank you guys for being here for our 2025 Tailgate Stock Show. If you stand and move your hands to the place of the flag, and we will have a prayer following that. Praise the Lord.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Bow your heads and pray with me. Dear Father, thank you for this day and all the many blessings given to you for us, Lord. Thank you for being here, and thank you for giving us the chance to fellowship together, doing what we love, Lord. Please keep angels around this ring, Lord, and protect this ring. Amen.
Thank you, Ben. Turn it over to Larry Carr. All right, let's go ahead and bring back one and represent the makeup area. I will make a request of the exhibitors if you will put your numbers on your back of the pocket instead of in your front. It makes it easier for the ring men to be able to identify the numbers and see the kids.
I know, I don't want to talk. Well, I mean, sitting there, you're fine. I just don't want y'all to be like sitting here. No, it's good.
Can't hear anything in the background. They never hear if they overtime.
Oh, it's okay. I was
I never believed it.
we'll figure this spring deal out, get these lined up, went ahead and placed it down before we need to flank rope on that, one up front, we can bunker a little bit. Young man did a heck of a job hanging on here and, getting wrangled in. Looking forward to the day, folks, and, working with you young people, evaluate your stock, and it's going to be fun. I'm going to make it fun. I enjoy storing livestock, working with young people. This is where it's at, in my opinion. Sure appreciate young man's efforts here on the front end with this great heifer that leads off. Easy for me to start this one here, non-negotiable class winner in this particular class. The biggest footed, the soundest at the surface, the most correct in our posture and our feet and legs, the best in terms of body type, and one that you just have to appreciate the brood cow prospect in this one, and still a femininity up front in terms of her upper neck and jawline. Lots of good things happening here. In relation to the world of cattle, frankly, we could draw her back longer in terms of her hip. We could pull her longer and a little cleaner at the base of her chest and her neck. We could elevate her right to the point of her shoulder. You like those things about her, I like them too. We just want to change her in a few places. Little man comes to in class, she's got a really nice heifer. She is soft in terms of the way she's assembled. She's comfortable in her skeletal quality, and comfort means a lot to me. You don't get as big as I am and not understand the pleasures of being comfortable in terms of your skeleton. And frankly, she's very comfy. We can pull her apart, make her wider. If you want to do that, hey, I do too. I want to open her up at both ends. I want to give her a little more cage and body. We just shape her up a bit right behind her blade. We can always make one a little bigger pin, and that's one that if you step in behind her, I want to do those things. When you talk about balance and eye appeal and smoothness and back leg posture compared back to three, without question, we have a nicer female here. One that I like just a bit better in terms of look, balance, and back leg posture. Young lady's got a nice heifer as well. Lady's face kind of female, long spine, long hip, one that's extended up front. For me, that one's a little challenge in terms of vertical out of the shoulder. Her knee's not as comfy, or Paston's not as comfy, or back leg posture of the trio in this particular class. Not as good in terms of her hop placement or back pasture. She does rack up big in terms of shape behind her shoulder. I like that about this female. We just have to make her a little better in terms of her movement. Want to drop her in her forehead, drop her in her center body and cage. I'll tell you what I see them today. I appreciate the opportunity to come. Put your hands together for those kiddos in that particular class. Places in this first class of American League Heifers. First place is Holders, Avalanche 4-8. Second place is Edmund Brooks, top 10 4-8. Third place is Edmund Brooks, top 10 4-8. Because there's only one class of American League, the American League Heifer will be the Holders Heifer, will be third heifer, will be the Edmund Brooks Heifer. Bring in your class 2, or your first class, ready to have we want to introduce you to the judge for today's show. Brett Martin grew up in Macon, Texas, where his family roots date back to the 1860s. He attended Texas A&M University, was an accomplished PhD livestock evaluator. Rated third, ranking Anchorage, the Martin family raised Texas Choco, cattle, and Georgia sheep, and girls of blue. Grant is third grade, 60 pages left, so they comply. They have evaluated both breeding and market shows in 30 states, including numerous state fairs, various shows in Fort Worth, Houston, Denver, Louisville, and the American Roll. We want to welcome him here today. Would you bring your class 3 to the makeup area, please? Class 3 to the makeup area. Nice quality cattle here in this particular class. Got an attitude problem with that one, but that's all right. We're out here working through it, getting some reps under our belt with that particular female. We get here and just evaluate the females out in class. I think there's a couple that just move a bit better here in the front of our class, a couple that just fit me a bit better in terms of structural integrity and joint angles, and have a little more to them as you read them and get them around the ring. Now, the young man's here that leads off. I like that female. I like her look. I like her balance from the side. I like her added shot of elevation. I like her added shot of immaturity. I started talking to him. He apologized just a little for being young and thin, and I think it works to her advantage right here in this top pair as I read them.
This one comes longer out the front of her skeleton. She's the one that shows us a little more true growth curve and longevity from a feminine standpoint. I like that female. She probably is not quite as deep flanked as the 1 and 2, and not as stout maybe in terms of her feet. I guess for me, most of the time we can make them a little softer in their skeleton. I'd like to just set her knee into her a bit further. I'd like to relax her pasture just a bit more. But for a young female with this kind of look, this kind of body type, angulation up front, still has that kind of pin set. It's a nice place for me to start. Love your design when it comes to it, class, and if you don't like that, then you probably don't read her like I do. I think she's still elevated enough. I think her growth curve is far enough out there, and her femininity is good up front. That's a nice female. I like her feet and legs better than the ones that come behind her. I like her knee placement better than her class winner. Her back feet are the best in terms of softness and the depth to her heel. I like the way she sets her feet down just a bit better than her class winner. For me, I'd like to make her longer in her growth pattern. I like to make her more cylindrical in terms of her cage compared to the one that just left. I like to make her a little bigger right through her hip and pin set as you step in behind her compared to the next nice female. With growth pattern, very feminine and attractive in her lower chest and neck. I like that about her. I like her as the length of spine. For me, she gets more up and down in terms of her shoulder and knee. I want to set her ankle back. I want to relax her knee. I want to make her feet just a bit bigger in my mind. If I can do that, I can like that one a bit more. We set her in motion. I want her to be just a little more comfy out front. That's a nice female, very attractive. I like her better on the stand than I do on the move. I like her top line and her hip structure and her back leg posture better than the one that comes forward. This is a big body, big back kind of a female here, pretty genuine in terms of flexibility, but doesn't organize herself well enough. A little shorter frontage, rounder shoulder, without question, the lowest set in her neck, the roundest in her hip, forced in her hock and back foot placement. Congratulate those kiddos, that's a nice class.
Placing in this class, two, first class, first place is Creed Evans, Petersburg, FFA. Second place is David Holder, FNF 4A. Third place is Kyle Vaughn, Petersburg, FFA. And fourth place is Creed Evans, Petersburg, FFA. If you'll bring in class three, the second class is British Heifer, bringing class three to the ring, please. And attention in the barn, the intention is that we will start the steer show not before 9:30, and approximately 30 to 45 minutes after the head show is concluded. you would bring your first and second place members from class 2 back up to the makeup area, please, so we can show the brief champion.
Welcome.
Three, I think there's trade-offs and give and takes in the females that come out here at the front. Lead off with the pole female up front. One for me that I think combines look and balance through lower chest and her neck. It combines that same look back out through her hip in terms of being a little longer and leveler hip, being a little shallower, cleaner, neater there, just generalistic. Stands on a little more substance of bone, and I'm saying a little thing because I do think that's close there. And frankly, you know, you can beat the one up front if you like the added spring to the forehead and cage, or the female that put the second. If you think her knee sets into her just a bit better, if you think her back foot posture or hop placement's a little better, I probably agree with you. But when you start talking about true balance, I like the added length and levelness of the hip that you see here in our class winner. I like her added stoutness at the surface. I think she gets just a little neater in her lower chest, stands a little taller in terms of her shoulder placement in relation to her hip. Then when it comes to, that's a good female. Knee sets good, sound, hop placement's good, back foot really deep. Big hole for it in the cage, and this one, it's a little plainer in her lower chest, a little shorter, for me, maybe a little shorter neck, a little crispier right there, ahead of her blade at the backside of her pole. Set her and go, and I just want to really change her hip structure. I like to level her hooks and pins. I'd like to just lengthen her out of her hip just a skosh compared to our class winner. I want to out there in terms of her foot size, but two good ones here in the front. Young man's got a nice one here in 3, one that's pretty far along apparently to me in terms of partneration, one that we need to gestation, one that we need to see a bit stouter, one that just has to be more attractive from the side. We've got the elevator, fizzler up in the chest, give her more real power right there behind her blade in terms of rib cage. A pretty practical female, one that ought to make a nice cow. Let's congratulate those kiddos on a nice class.
First place, lightweight, come on.
Your placings in this class of the British effort. First place is Creed Evans, Petersburg FFA. Second place is Ty Vaughn, Petersburg FFA. Third place is Carol Reed, Abernathy FFA. You'll bring in the first and second place members in the English classes for the Creed Champions, please.
Well, nice class winners, nice seconds to come back out here, out of the bridge drive. Talk about that little female again, just high quality in terms of look, with the square up in the front, in terms of knee placement, the one that's extremely good in terms of her look, her shoulder, her body,
or hip and pin set. One I think is pretty comfortable and very attractive out here. Just talking last winter, big footed stout, both kind of a female with an elevator in one of her shoulder. We picked her up just a bit comfortable pin set. We had the second out of the first class young man score on female. The most comfortable in terms of her feet and legs out here. Very well designed on the size in terms of her neck set, good body. One thing you just have to appreciate, a lot of quality in that one. Just off the second roan female there, out of that second class, that older age class. One that could be a little stouter down low, picked her up in her hip and a big body. Kind of a female that's neat in terms of her neck and her jawline. Good quality stock. My two favorites out here come out in first class. And congratulate this young man. I think we had both of these. We'll congratulate this young heifer here, and then the shorthorn beavers that are out of this division.
Your champion Indian Creek Heifer is Creed Evans, Petersburg FFA. Reserve champion is David Holder, FFA 4A. If you'll bring in class 4 to the makeup area into the ring. Bring in your class 4 to the makeup area and into the ring, please. First class is crossbred heifer. Please bring in your class 4 heifer. Class 4 heifer, please, to the ring. Would you also get your class 5? Class 5 heifers ready and bring to the makeup area, please. Class 5 to the makeup area. I'm going to make a request for the 15th time. Would you please put your exhibitor numbers on your back side, not on your front? It is impossible to see those numbers when you're facing your hand. will tell you that we also have somewhere in the stands an individual who has done showmanship. She also has to be able to tell the numbers of the exhibitors to be able to appropriately award the showmanship award.
When we get these pulled back around here, a really nice class.
quality females. I think once again, we've got some separation here in a trio up front. The one that comes forward, pick them how you like them. I tell you what I see organizing this way. I don't really see an issue with framework or growth curve, maturity pattern in any of these females out here. I think they're all pretty legit in terms of their age and where they're at from the maturity and framework standpoint. Lead off with the young man's Bronco Heifer, and the one that suits me the best in terms of body type, in terms of elevation and look up through her neck, and the one that suits me the best in terms of genuine width, foot size, and soundness. She's not the tallest at the point of her shoulder, and in relation to the world of show cattle or show heifers, maybe we could tuck her up just a nickel in her lower chest, but that one's high end in her look, she's high end in her movement, very, very quality in terms of her width, her skeletal quality is exceptional. I like the fact that she's smoother in her design and her upper hip there in terms of jump muscle and the way she blends her loin back to her hip and out to her pin set. She's square in her knees, and the one that comes in two, she's just a little more square when you get right in behind her and read her in terms of length of hip and squareness of hip. She's the one that's got the best running gear out here for me. One that comes two and the one that are three, I read that as a trade-off pair. I like the added foot size, the added width, the added density of the one that comes in two. I think she's high quality in her look. I like her length and elevation up front. I wish she was a little longer hip. I'd like to tuck her jump muscle down into her just a little. But power cattle have power everywhere, and that one's got that jump that sets in her. She also has added shape right out the back of her blade. She's got added mass. She's got added width. So with that comes a little bit more shape everywhere. And she doesn't bother me a lot, but I'd like to tuck that down into her. I might like to just straighten her to her hot posture as we get her propped up. But a good one there. Young man, a really nice female from the profile, comes free in class, and I appreciate him bringing her out here. She's not comfy yet, but that is a good one in terms of elevation, look, genuine build. She's got a lot of future. She's not as wide underneath. She's not as big in her pin set. She's not as quick in her knee and her hop, is what I'd like to see her here. If we could just pull her, open her up, like her that much better, but a good one, and I commend that young man for wrestling around with that one. Another nice female in the varsity class, a presented Seminole, one that genuinely has some performance and has some power. If you read around down her back, one that's pretty big footed, not as sound as she needs to be in both ends of her skeleton, not as attractive, not built as big in terms of upper hip and pin set. Congratulate those kiddos, if you will, on a good class.
Places in this class of exotic heifers. First place is Packet Holder, Evanescence 4-8. Second place, Bowen Holder, Evanescence 4-8. Third place, James Holder, Evanescence 4-8. And fourth place, Justice Curry, Evanescence AFA. You would bring in your class 5, your exotic heifer, please. Bring in class 5. Would you bring class 6 to the makeup area? Bring your class 6 to the makeup area.